Hello Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Cancer, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Cancer, let's get started. How does Cancer currently view this relationship? All right, Cancer. So we do have the Queen of Swords, okay? We also have the Wheel of Fortune to the Two of Cups. I absolutely love this. So let's just focus on this really quickly here. So we do have the Two of Cups to the Wheel of Fortune. So that's telling me that things are going really well between you and whoever it is that you currently find yourself connecting with. I mean, I feel like you love absolutely everything, honestly, about this person. For some of you, this could definitely represent, like, you know, a fairly new person that you've been, you know, talking to / getting to know, possibly. But it just kind of looks like, you know, you're finally getting what it is that you deserve. Somebody who respects you, somebody who loves you, somebody who's there for you, somebody who truly does have your best interests at heart. And the reason why I love this so much is because you are showing up as the Queen of Swords. So the story behind the Queen of Swords is this, okay? The Queen of Swords is somebody who unfortunately has been through a lot in previous relationships, making it hard, you know, for the Queen of Swords to, like, let somebody in, trust someone, you know, things of that nature. And the fact that you finally found a really, really good person for you, like, not only are you freaking, like, extremely happy, but you're ecstatic because this person's nothing like anyone you've ever dealt with, you know, before. They're just so different, you know. They truly are. So I'm happy for you, Cancer. How does this person currently view this relationship with Cancer? Okay, so we do have the Nine of Cups, we do have the Justice card, and then we also have the Three of Wands. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Swords out here. Yeah, this definitely could represent the very beginning stages of a relationship. That's definitely a possibility. I feel like you've definitely captured this person's complete and undivided attention. One thing that I will say is that they do find you to be very physically attractive. As far as communication is concerned, communication between the two of you is definitely on point. Like, this is somebody who looks forward to, like, you know, spending time with you, speaking to you, things of that nature. You are somebody who has definitely brought a lot of happiness and joy and excitement to this person's life. It's as if this person feels like, you know, like they finally have something to kind of look forward to. You know what I mean? I am definitely getting that. With the Justice card coming out here, you are definitely someone that, you know, so far they can see themselves having a serious relationship with. Of course, you know, the two of you could already be in a serious relationship with one another. If not, they can totally see themselves having a serious relationship with you. With the Three of Wands coming out here, like I said, this could definitely represent, you know, an energy of them essentially looking forward to, like, spending time with you, speaking to you, things of that nature. But this could also imply that maybe you and this person live at a distance from one another. But how does Cancer currently feel? Okay, so we have the Two of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups, and then we also have the High Priestess out here. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It's like you're falling. Okay, already, hold on. This is like a 180 coming from you, okay? This to me kind of this to me kind of feels like an energy of you going from, like, oh my God, like, this person might be the one for me. I'm so happy to, like, let me not catch feelings for them. Let me not get too attached to them. Let me not get too excited. Let me not fall for them. And you're doing this secretly with the High Priestess coming out here. Like, secretly, yeah, secretly you're telling yourself, you know what I mean? Let me not fall for them. Let me not catch feelings for them. Let me not get too attached to them. Let me not get too excited when it comes down to them. Like, it has that type of feel to it. I also feel like secretly you might even go as far as to, like, retract your energy to, like, detach yourself from this person emotionally, because it looks like you were already forming an emotional attachment towards this person. So you might feel like by like, you know, withdrawing your energy a bit, that'll help you detach yourself from this person emotionally. Why are you doing this? Tell me more about the Eight of Cups to the Two of Swords. Come here. Okay. We have the... Okay, so you're not doing it because this person did anything wrong on their behalf. I just want to kind of throw that out there and just establish that. Like, they didn't do anything to warrant all of this, from you, as far as you retracting your energy is concerned, and distancing yourself from this individual is concerned, and not making yourself as available, because I just feel like you're doing certain things that you think is going to essentially help you detach yourself from this person emotionally, because you're already noticing that you're forming an emotional attachment to this person. So you're doing things that maybe used to work for you in the past, where you found yourself developing emotions for somebody, and then you were to do like X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z would essentially help you lose feelings for that person, detach yourself from that person. And that's just kind of what you're doing. But you're not doing it in the name of, well, this person did this to me, so that's why I'm doing this. You're not doing it for those reasons. In fact, I don't even feel like you want to be doing all of this anyways, because again, like, this is somebody that you enjoy speaking to. This is somebody that you enjoy spending time with. This is somebody who brings so much happiness, joy, and excitement to your life. So this relationship is bringing you nothing but good, but something's causing you to pull away. And I would love to know what that something is. Tell me more about the Two of Swords to the Eight of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands to the Chariot, and then we also have, I'm sorry, but it's like, the more we look into this energy, the more I'm starting to essentially feel like this could have a lot to do with what I mentioned when I was like talking to you about the Queen of Swords, and like the story behind the Queen of Swords, and how the Queen of Swords has been through a lot. And it is hard for the Queen of Swords to trust someone. It is very hard for the Queen of Swords to allow someone to get close to them and allow themselves to get close to someone. That's the only thing that I can honestly come up with, because I'm not getting any sort of like indication that this person did X, Y, and Z, so this is why you're pulling away. This is why you're trying to detach yourself from this person emotionally. This is why, like, you're doing all of this. I feel like it does have a lot to do with the fact that you have been through a lot. And I think that you're noticing yourself becoming attached to someone. And I think that scares you. I think that frightens you. I think that concerns you. I think that causes you to think you're putting yourself in that predicament to potentially get hurt again. And I don't think that that's something that you want to go through, given your history and everything that you essentially been through. But we can't sit here and say, it's this person. You know what I mean? That is causing you to do this. I think that this is leaning far more towards, you've been through some things when it comes down to being in a romantic relationship with someone, and there's just certain things that you want to avoid experiencing again, like heartache, disappointment, betrayal, things of that nature. But this is a thing, right? Is that you're pulling away. And the moment that you start to pull away, I think that they're going to sense and feel it. And they're going to try to do something on their end to like reel you back in. Like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you go like 3 hours without texting this person. This person might text you like, hey, like, everything okay? Like, I haven't heard from you. Like, what's going on? Like, I really do miss you. Like, they're going to try to say something or do something to like lure you back in all over again. This is somebody who clearly like wants you, like they clearly want you. With the Chariot coming out here, let me just say something. With the Chariot coming out here, the person that sits in the Chariot is the Emperor. An Emperor is somebody that when they see something that they want, they're going to go after it. They don't really care about the obstacles that are presenting itself to him or her. Like, they're going to go after what the hell they want. So in this case, you are kind of, and I don't feel like you're doing it intentionally, but you're creating this obstacle for them by distancing yourself from them, not speaking to them, giving them the cold shoulder / silent treatment. It's not based off of anything that they did. It's based off of more than likely your past and the things that you've been through. So even though you're like, I don't know, retracting your energy from them and not talking to them, like, this is that type of person that wants you so fucking bad that they will fucking find a way to like lure you back in if they absolutely have to. And I feel like that's exactly what this person is essentially doing. But with the Seven of Wands coming out here, it's like you're fighting against the natural flow of things. It's like, deep down inside, you want to essentially pursue this without fear / hesitation, but you're allowing fear and hesitation to get the best of you, as well as, past experiences that you've had with other people, causing you to fight against the natural flow of things. Because we see you kind of going with the flow here, and now we see you kind of going against like the natural flow of things. And granted, you have your reasons as to why you're doing it. You just don't want to get hurt and disappointed again, and that's why you're doing it. That's why you're doing it. It's not to say you're gonna get hurt or disappointed by this person, But I will say, yes, do you have reasons as to why you're doing this? Yeah, I don't feel like you just woke up one morning and you're just like, I don't want to like talk to them anymore. I'm just gonna give them the cold shoulder. Like, no, I feel like there's like a meaning behind why you're doing what you're doing, which is causing me to think it does have a lot to do with your past and very little to do with this person that you're connecting with. How does this person currently feel? Okay. So, for those of you who don't know this, the person that's in the Strength card is the Empress. So you guys just show up as a true pair. 2 times. So we had the King and the Queen of Pentacles, we had the Emperor, and now we have the Empress out here. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is attached to the Ten of Pentacles, which speaks of a long-term committed relationship between two people, full of abundance, stability, all of that good stuff. So this to me kind of feels like phases that they're essentially going through within their relationship with you or within their dynamic with you. It appears to them that everything's going really good, everything's going really great between the two of you. The more they talk to you and get to know you, the more they start to feel like, damn, you know, like this might be the one for me, right? And then all of a sudden you switch up on this person by retracting your energy, giving them the cold shoulder, going hours, you know, without texting them back. And with the Five of Swords to the Ten of Swords to the World coming out here, for one, I feel like all of this is catching them off guard. They don't really know exactly why you're switching up on this individual, to be completely honest. They don't know why. They just consent and feel that you're switching up on them, and it's causing them to essentially think a variety of different things. It's causing them to think, you know, maybe you think that they don't have your best interests at heart and that's why you're doing it. It's causing them to think, well, maybe they're losing interest in me. Maybe they just simply don't want me. Maybe that's what's going on. It's like they're trying to rationalize to themselves, like, why you could potentially be switching up on them and why you went hours, you know what I mean, without like texting them back or calling them back. I'm also getting that this person's trying to think to themselves, like, damn, like, did I say something wrong or did I do something wrong? Is that what happened? You know, like, they're really trying to like get down to the bottom of like why you're switching up on them is basically what I'm getting. But it's nothing that this person did wrong is what I'm gathering. Okay, come on. Okay, a true pair situation. Again, we have the King and the Queen of Swords. What actions will Cancer take towards this person or moving forward? We have the Five of Wands to the Ten of Swords. So you're experiencing a lot of inner conflict, and here's why. It's like your heart and your soul and your intuition is basically telling you to embrace what you currently share with this person. But your mind and your past traumas are telling you don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Causing you to fight against the natural flow of things is basically what I'm getting. Now, when it comes down to your worries and your concerns about this person, for those of you who don't know this, the swords in tarot represent our thoughts. So that's kind of telling me that you do have a lot of worries and concerns in regards to this person and what this person could potentially put you through and, you know, do to you, things of that nature. And you have the Ten of Swords that says everything is fine. There's 2 Ten of Swords in this tarot deck. There's a Ten of Swords that says the Ten of Swords, and there's a Ten of Swords that says everything is fine. So because you have the Ten of Swords that says everything is fine, this is Spirit's way of telling you when it comes down to your worries and your concerns about this person, you don't have anything to worry about. Although you may think that you have everything to worry about, you technically speaking don't have anything to worry about. Five of Wands could represent like a projection energy. And like I said, I think that there's a lot of projection going on when it comes down to what you're doing here. Like you're projecting what said person put you through onto them, assuming that they're probably going to do the exact same thing to you. So before it even gets to that point, you're going to try to protect yourself as much as you possibly can. By retracting your energy, by doing what you typically do to detach yourself emotionally from a person. But in doing so, you're creating a lot of inner conflict because you have your heart, your soul, and your intuition, you know, telling you to do one thing. And it's like your mind and your past traumas are telling you, you need to do the complete opposite of all of that. So we do see you kind of experiencing some inner conflict. So what I do see happening is this. I do see you becoming very hot and cold within this relationship. And it's not because you want to become hot and cold within this relationship. It's because your brain and your past traumas are telling you you need to run in the opposite direction of this person before it's too late. But then your heart and your soul and your intuition is telling you, no, 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 like stay, like they're a really good guy, they're a really good girl. So your whole thing is, well, which one do I trust? You know what I mean? And then that's creating a lot of inner conflict within you, causing you at times to be open and receptive to this connection. And it also is going to cause you at times to be very close off towards this connection, because there's going to be times where you're going to find yourself listening to your heart, your intuition, as well as what your soul's telling you to do. But then when your mind starts to kick in and tell you like, yo, like this person, they're going to do this and this and this to you. Remember that you went through this and this and this, right? So they're probably going to do this and this to you. So if I were you, I would, protect yourself, right? So when those moments do show up, you're going to find yourself being the complete opposite of this energy that we see you harnessing throughout the course of your relationship with this person, which is an energy of you being open and receptive. You're going to be the complete opposite. You're going to be closed off. You're going to be detached. You're going to be withdrawn. And it's not because you want to be this way. You're just trying to protect yourself, because you think that they're going to do X, Y, and Z to you. So before they get the chance to do it, you want to protect yourself. Okay. What actions? Okay, so this to me kind of feels like phases that they're going through within this dynamic that the two of you share with one another. It's like 1 minute, everything is good and great between the two of you, and everything's kind of running smoothly between you and them. Everything's wonderful, everything's great. And it's like the next minute, it's like things are kind of like out of whack between the two of you. You're very withdrawn. You're not really talking to them. You're giving them the silent treatment. And the next thing you know, everything's like, good and great between the two of you. You guys are talking, getting along, spending time with one another, things of that nature. Okay. Tell me more about the Four of Cups. When you do this to them, as far as like retracting your energy from them, giving them the silent treatment, being very withdrawn and stuff like that. And like I said, we've already established that it's coming from a place of you trying to protect yourself just based off of what your mind is telling you and your past traumas are telling you, right? It causes them to feel rejected by you. It causes them to question how much do you really, really want this? Because if you do, why are you doing the things that you're doing? You gotta understand that like you're dealing with a masculine energy, and masculine energies are very, very big on paying very close attention to a person's actions. Okay. That's just kind of what they're known for. So in this case, you're dealing with a masculine energy that's paying very close to your actions, right? And your actions are telling them one day you love me, the next day you don't. One day you want me there in your life, and the next day you don't. That is what your actions are telling them, and it's confusing them like it would confuse anybody, right? And it does cause them to question, like, damn, like how much does Cancer really want this? Because if they do, like, why are they constantly switching up on me? Why is it 1 minute they want to be with me, the next minute they don't? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, what the heck's going on? This kind of reminds me of the J. Cole song, Love Me Not. And I mean, I wouldn't say the whole song. I mean, you might find yourself resonating with certain things that, J. Cole says in his song. You can't find that song on like Spotify or Apple Music, but whatever. You can find it on YouTube though. But in the song, Love Me Not by J. Cole, he says something along the lines of, one day she loves me and then she loves me not. That's kind of like, what I'm getting. But I'm pretty sure that there's other things that he mentions within that song that you might find yourself resonating with. Yeah, I just kind of feel like, because you've been through the amount of things that you've been through, I think that all of this is new to you. I think all of this is foreign to you. And although you may love it and you're so happy and glad and just over the moon ecstatic because you finally found somebody who's nothing like, your ex or nothing like anybody you've ever dealt with, I think that that's what makes you truly happy and excited about this person, this relationship. And I think that that's like a main reason why you want to continue to proceed forward within your relationship with this person. But it's hard because your mind is basically telling you, don't trust this person, don't allow yourself to go there. And then you're being reminded of things that you've been through on top of that. That's also kind of making it a little bit more challenging and difficult, for you. But you have to keep in mind this, and I say this a lot in my readings. When it comes down to like what your mind is telling you and what your heart is telling you. Your mind is very capable of like playing tricks on you. So for example, like let's just say hypothetically speaking, you did get cheated on your previous relationship. And let's just say hypothetically speaking, this person does something on their end that may be similar to what your ex basically did to you. So let's just say that your ex cheated on you, I don't know, with like a coworker or some shit like that. Well, it might be triggering for you to find out this person is friends with like their coworkers, and that might cause you to go as far as to think, oh well, then this must mean that they're going to do this and this and this to me like my ex did. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? It just means that your ex was a real fucking douchebag, and they did you the way that they basically did you. But just because your ex was a douchebag and they cheated on you with their coworker doesn't necessarily mean this person is going to turn around and do the exact same thing to you, because these are two different individuals we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So anyways, I say all that to say this: your mind is very capable of playing tricks on you. And considering the fact that you are somebody who does have a lot of past, traumas that you essentially went through in previous relationships, you're going to experience more than likely a lot of intrusive thoughts. And, your mind might create things, in your head that this person's doing that they're not essentially doing. You might even find yourself going as far as to, think something, well, that's basically the same thing I just said. I mean, your mind might find your mind might end up doing that to you, honestly. Like, and I think that, for the most part, people, who have, past, experiences like the ones that you've essentially had, I think that anybody will respond and react this way. If you're used to dealing with a bunch of douchebags, you know what I mean, and you find like a really good man or a really good woman, that's going to take some time to essentially adapt to and get used to, because it's foreign to you. All of this shit is new to you. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to go as far as to say, like, oh, the way that you're responding and reacting to this connection, and, that just makes you crazy. I wouldn't go as far as to say you're crazy, but I will go as far as to say that there are certain things that you haven't necessarily fully healed from that you went through. That's not your fucking fault. That is not your damn fault. You didn't ask to go through the things that you basically went through. And even with that being said, you know what I mean? Like, you still, try to essentially give love, you know what I mean, a chance, even after everything that you've been through, which is something that most people wouldn't even dare to do. So you're doing something that most people wouldn't even fucking do to begin with. You're trying to give love a fucking chance, given everything that you essentially been through. And it's not easy, and it's just extremely hard. But when it comes down to your mind and like your heart, I'm a firm believer that we really shouldn't listen to what our mind tells us all the time, or what even our heart tells us, all the time, because our heart, is very, very capable of basically deceiving us, just like our minds are capable of deceiving us. And the one thing that will never betray us or deceive us is our intuition. And if your intuition is basically giving you the green light when it comes down to this person, that's the only thing that should honestly matter. And that's the only thing that you should listen to. Everything else is irrelevant, like, because your mind is going to play tricks on you. You know what I mean? Your heart's gonna deceive you. You see what I mean? And it's like, you gotta understand, given everything that you went through, like, if you've been cheated on before, lied too many fucking times, and manipulated, and you could have dealt with somebody who was constantly gaslighting you left and right, like, being with somebody who's not like that is gonna take some fucking getting used to. Yeah, you're gonna have your moments where you're gonna find yourself thinking, I just think that this person's doing this, that, and the third, and I just think that they're out to get me, and I just think that they're lying to me. I just think they're manipulating me or gaslighting me right now. When in all actuality, they're not doing any of those things. It just goes to show how much you've dealt with that and exposed yourself to that this is what you're used to. So when somebody's not like that with you, you're just like, I don't know, I don't trust it. Because all the men I've been with are like that. All the women I've been with are like that. So there's just no way that this person's different. You know what I mean? But they are. And that's just the reality of the situation. So it's either you accept the truth for what it is, or you just continue to fight it and just allow this inner conflict that's already transpiring within you to just grow and fester. You know what I mean? And that in itself is not going to be good for this person. It's not going to be good for you. And it's not going to be good for the future that you guys have with one another, or this dynamic between the two of you. You got to figure out what you're choosing to essentially believe here. It's either going to be your mind or it's going to be your intuition. And if it is you deciding to choose to listen to your mind, it is in your best interest to walk away from this relationship, because if you don't walk away from this relationship, what's going to happen is that this inner conflict within you, it's going to grow and it's going to fester, and it's going to affect you in a very severe way, especially your mental health, and it's going to affect them and your relationship with them. So if you're choosing to listen to your mind, it is best that you walk away from this relationship. But it kind of looks like what you're doing instead is, well, I'm just going to listen to both. I'm just going to listen to what my soul is telling me and my intuition is telling me, and then I'm also going to listen to what my mind is telling me, and everything that I essentially been through. I'm just going to listen to both, and expect to have a healthy relationship with this person, and expect yourself to essentially be at peace. And you're never going to have that. You're never going to be able to be at peace with this person. You're never going to be able to fully trust that this person truly does have your best interest at heart if you sit here and choose both. You can't choose both. It's either you're going to listen to your mind or your heart. But if you do choose both, because it's not to say that it's not an option, because it's an option. This is kind of like the epitome of you signing yourself up for mental torture. Because as your relationship continues to grow and progress between the two of you, because that's what they're going to push for, you understand? Like, that's what they're going to push for. They're going to want to eventually get a place with you. They're going to eventually want to, like, hold on. My light has been freaking acting up for whatever reason. But they're going to eventually want to do all of these things with you. And as your relationship with this person grows and progresses, your trust issues are going to grow and progress with it. You see what I mean? Your fears are going to grow and progress with it. So the more invested you become, the worse your state of mind is going to essentially be. That's why I don't recommend that you do this, because if you do this the way that I see you doing this, it's the epitome of signing yourself up for mental torture. And what I want is for you to be happy and at peace with this person. But in order for you to do that, you got to pick a side of the fence. You're either going to trust your intuition, the one thing that will never lie to you, or you're going to listen to your mind, the one thing that is very capable of playing tricks on you. And considering the fact that you do have a lot of past traumas that you've essentially been through in previous relationships, it's just a recipe for a disaster, because you're going to constantly find yourself thinking about things that you've been through in your past and thinking to yourself, what if they turn around and do this to me? You know what I mean? So it's just something to kind of, like, take into consideration. All right. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys here next.